Okay, we finally got paired. Hi everyone, Stepan here, black pieces again. I won my last 3 games. Let's try to continue the streak. BGS Ghost, slightly higher rated than me, 2316. Let's see what happens. We have the Slav. I don't know what my opponent's gonna play, but I would love to get into, let's say, the Queen C2 Slav. We haven't seen that in a while. Knight C3 is flexible, Bishop G5 is still an option, E3 is an option, Knight F3 is an option, Queen C2 is an option. Many options here. G3 is an option, taking is an option. H3, I don't know H3. I don't know H3. What the hell is H3? So obviously trying to punish Bishop F5. But I'm gonna use this to my advantage and try to develop. I don't necessarily have to play Bishop F5 now. I can play G6. This is a weird move, so I'm gonna go G6, just develop my bishop to G7 and try to punish this. This is a bit too slow. Now Queen C2 is no longer an option, B7 is permanently safe, taking doesn't do anything, G4 is risky. Okay, let's just go Bishop G7. I don't know the move H3, I'm gonna be perfectly honest, I've never seen that before. So I don't want to take on C4 because of E4. If I castle, H4 will be a waste of tempo, so I'm gonna castle. My opponent is playing, I don't even know how to call this. There's a line in the Queen's Gambit Decline that goes like this, but not when black doesn't play E6. Okay, so Queen B6, I don't really like Queen B6. Queen A5 seems interesting for Knight E4. Queen A5, Queen C2, Bishop F5, Bishop D3 takes, Knight E4, seems fine. Queen A5, Bishop D3, Knight E4, Bishop takes, Pawn takes, seems okay. Bishop F5, G4. Queen A5 seems kind of off. I'm not a big fan of Queen A5. Rook E8 is a normal move. I can always play Rook E8. F7 is never a problem. Knight H5 doesn't do anything because of Bishop H2. Knight E4. Knight D7 is a normal move, but it prevents Bishop F5. Where does my knight go from D7? That's the question. I would like to play A5, Knight A6, Knight C7. This is a new position for me, so I'm gonna stop and think a while. My opponent would like to play Bishop D3. If I play Bishop F5, will they go G4? They may go G4. If Knight D7, I don't know where that knight is going. So I'm gonna play A5. I want to see what my opponent does. If it's Bishop D3, I can play Knight A6 and threaten Knight B4. Or I can simply play Knight C7. Okay, my opponent takes, that's fine. I've given away B5, so I may consider taking with the knight here. Knight takes, queen takes, Bishop D3, Bishop F5, E4 is defended against, and then I may play for C5. I'm not sure I should give away the B5 square. If pawn takes, then there's Knight B5 and Knight C7, so I'm gonna take with the knight. And if my opponent takes with the knight, then I will consider taking with the pawn, because then there is no Knight B5 anymore. I don't really care about Bishop B5 because I have Knight C6. Although taking with the queen is interesting because I have c5, weakening this diagonal. So I'm not too sure. Queen d5 and cd5 seem interesting. I also have queen b6 as an option now. Okay, this is getting interesting. With bishop h2, I may play queen b6. Okay, now pawn takes or queen takes. Pawn takes gives my knight c6, so I feel like that's the way to go. Also prevents e4. So queen takes. I'm not a big fan of queen takes anymore. So I'm gonna take with the pawn. This way there is no knight b5, knight c7. And on rook c1 I have knight c6. What do I do on knight e5? Knight e5, knight c6 takes. Well, then I have bishop a6. I wish I could play... Ooh, okay. My opponent didn't go knight e5. I'm happy with this. I was afraid of knight e5, because now with knight e5 I can just take twice. Although, yeah, he also had to secure the diagonal. Do I play this Caro-Kann style and go bishop f5 anyway? No. No. Queen c2 cannot be played because of knight b4. He wants to go queen c2. That's understandable. I need to develop my pieces, and in order to develop my bishop, I need to do something aggressive. So can I go queen b6 now? Queen b6. Queen b6, and then maybe bishop d7, rook c8. I don't like that. Queen b6, queen c2, queen b6, queen c2, a4. I can also consider playing a4, knight a5. a4 castles, knight a5, queen a4 is a problem. So not yet. Queen b6, queen c2, queen b6, queen c2, bishop d7. I like that. I'm gonna go queen b6. I don't think I can play a4. I would love to blockade this pawn, but a4 there's... a4 I don't really have an easy knight e5, a knight a5, and also there's knight e5. So on queen c2, bishop d7, rook ac8, the queen is in trouble. So I'm not sure the queen should go to c2, although queen c2, bishop d7, rook c1, rook ac8, queen b1 seems fine. But then I will play a4, knight a5. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. So queen c2, bishop d7, rook c1, rook ac8, queen b1, a4. That's very interesting. With a positional bind on the queen side and threat to go knight a5, knight b3. But I have to watch out for bishop c7, which is defended currently. And also on knight a5 there may be knight e5 where I have to give up my bishop. I don't know. I like my position so far. Maybe queen e2. Instead of queen c2. I would love to play a4, knight a5. Can my opponent go rook c1 and give up the b pawn? Rook c1, queen b2, rook b1, queen a3, rook b3, queen a4 or queen a2 are the only moves, and queen a2 loses to bishop b1. So if queen a4, my opponent has bishop b5. Oof, that's ugly. So rook b1, queen b2. Rook c1, queen b2, rook b1, queen a3, rook b3, queen a4, bishop b5, queen a2. Maybe my queen is safe, but I wouldn't want to risk that. I'd have to calculate very, very precisely. Tough game. I really think queen c2 or rook c1 are the candidate moves here. I don't really see anything else. b3 may be playable, but it gives away the c3 square, so I may be able to play knight a7, b5, c3. Also, if I can get rid of the d-pawn, I pick up the rook, so I will consider a move like e5 or f6, e5. I'm up 2 minutes on the clock, that's good. My last game against the Czech Benoni, oh my god. I won in 15 moves, but I missed mate in, what was it, 2 or 3? I don't even remember. I just saw that I'm winning a piece and I didn't look for anything stronger, but I could have mated my opponent. The Czech Benoni is very risky. And I didn't even know what I was doing in the opening. I just played chess and I got a winning position after 10 moves. Three minutes up on the clock. That's a significant advantage. I don't really know why my opponent is spending so much time here. I would really have played queen c2 at this point pretty quickly. I mean, maybe queen e2 is better because you don't run into rook c8, but it also doesn't attack a4 anymore, so queen c2 is problematic because of a4, knight a5, knight b3. But then again, on queen c2, a4, there's rook c1, and if knight a5, there's bishop c7. So I don't know. On queen e2, I think I will start with bishop d7. Or maybe I will start with a4 and then on rook c1, bishop d7. And rook c8 before knight a5. I'm 4 minutes up on the clock. This is getting out of hand. I think my opponent started with more time than I have before this move. Is there a tactic my opponent is calculating that I'm not aware of? I don't know, but I guess we will see. 5 minutes up on the clock. I feel very happy when my opponents are spending time. The game I played against the 2400 in the Caro-Kann, I had 8 minutes and my opponent has less than a minute. I mean, I had a winning position, but it helped. Had I been in time trouble as well or had less time, maybe I would have messed it up, but that way, during the game I managed to convert easily because I had time to think. Why doesn't my opponent just castle? I mean, if queen b2 doesn't work, then you can just castle. I think that's what my opponent's calculating. So castles, queen b2, rook b1, queen a3, rook b3, queen a4, bishop b5, queen a2. Maybe castles works. Maybe I don't take that pawn. The reason I don't have a good retreat square is the bishop on d6. So I may consider playing e5 if castles, e5, d5, knight e5. Oh, no, my opponent takes with the bishop in the end and I don't have queen b2. So castles, queen b2, rook b1. Can I play queen c3? No, queen c3 just loses the queen. Okay, this is whatever happens, even if I don't take on b2, my opponent has spent 7 minutes. Even if castles works, this is a bad investment. It's too much. I'm up, what am I up, 6-7 minutes on the clock? Doesn't mean I'm gonna rush it, but it's gonna become much tougher for my opponent to play. It's move 11. Not that I managed my time well, because I have spent 3 minutes on the first 11 moves, which is arguably a lot in a rapid game like this one, especially in the opening. Like it's not the same thing to spend 3 minutes in the middle game on 11 moves, but the first 5 or 6 moves we played automatically. Maybe my opponent is gone. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. So I'm just going to talk about stuff because I think on castles I don't take on b2. Wait, let me go over that again. Castles, queen b2, rook b1, queen a3, rook b3, queen a2. There is at least rook e1, rook e2, and my queen is trapped. No, I'm not taking that pawn. Okay, so I don't have to figure things out anymore. Yeah, I'll be playing a tournament in December in the Croatian city Dubrovnik, and probably the most famous Croatian town. Immensely significant historically, incredibly beautiful, arguably the most beautiful town on the Croatian coast. I'll actually share a video for that tournament soon. The organizers gave me a video from last year. You'll get to see the playing hall. You'll go. I'm afraid something happened to my opponent. He must have spent 10 minutes at this point. I don't know. So anyway, I don't know my tournament schedule before December, unfortunately, because it's pretty turbulent at the moment. Okay, queen c2. Okay, let's just play quickly. So yeah, I'll just play bishop d7, which I'd intended to play, followed by rook c8. Okay, rook a c8. Maybe rook fc8 to keep the a pawn defended. Which rook? No, rook a c8. Maybe my opponent just had someone at the door and had to leave. This was the problem with queen c2, and I don't think my opponent should have castled. I think he should have played rook c1 to prepare queen b1 in this position. So now queen b1 will block the rook, and that's obviously no good. Okay. Now I'm slightly happier because I get to play a4. So do I play a4 now and continue with knight a5, knight b3, a4, a4 if bishop c2. Yeah, now the a4 pawn is defended. This is now a strong positional idea. I just want to play knight a5. The pawn on a4 is defended, and knight b3 wins material. My opponent doesn't have time for b3 because I take it, or sorry, for b4, and my opponent doesn't have time for b1 because I play knight a5. I think this is just crushing. If knight e5 now, I have to watch out for my bishop. So I may consider just snapping that off. Bishop takes e5 and continue with knight a5. I may consider that because I believe knight a5, knight b3 is too strong of a threat. Okay, it doesn't do anything. Knight a5 is coming. Okay. This feels like a good move, but okay, I feel like this is a critical moment in the game. So my opponent has a choice. On rook c3, queen c3, there's rook c8, a tempo. On rook c3, bc3, there's knight b3, or even knight c4, and they are both extremely scary. So I feel like taking on c3 is correct. So rook c3, bc3, I have a permanent advantage on the queen side, and I can go knight b3, preventing rook c1. And the c3 pawn is blockaded and weak. So I'm expecting queen c3. So rook c3, queen c3, rook c8. I like that. I'm just gonna take. I think my opponent should take with the queen, even though it loses a tempo. bc3 seems awful. Just awful. It seems unplayable. Because I can set up a blockade straight away. Yeah, now I go rook c8, I gain a tempo. And also on knight e5, now I have bishop e8. And I'll also be able to play knight b3, preventing rook c1. This is oof, oof. Is this playable? I mean, I guess I have to take. Okay, I'm not gonna think about it. I have to take. And now knight b3. Knight b3. Is there bishop c2? No. Is there rook a1? No. How does my opponent defend? You know what? I may even consider knight c4. Because that gives me a passed pawn. Knight c4. Bishop takes, pawn takes, b5. Yeah, that seems great. But I also like knight b3. What's better, knight c4 or knight b3? My god. knight b3 has a clear advantage. But the problem is knight d2. Trading off that good knight. And if I go knight c4, what does my opponent do to actually defend? Because I'm threatening b5. And if bishop takes c4, I may even take with the rook. Oh, I like knight c4. If rook c1, I take on b2. That much is clear. If knight d2, I take it. Oh, I love this. I'm gonna play knight c4. If knight e5, I just take it. I'm not even gonna consider anything else. Knight e5 takes. Obviously b3 doesn't work because I take the pawn, so I don't know why my opponent did that. Bishop a4 seems nice. Can I win with b2? b2, bishop c4, dc4, rook b2, c3. No, I have to defend the pawn. So I'm gonna play bishop a4. I mean, I have a passed pawn on b3. Seems winning. I may not win, but it seems winning. I was planning to play b5, but maybe I don't have to do that. Maybe I can play b2. No, I'm playing b5. Yeah, this is a winning position. It has to be winning. Let's see. Let's not rush. I want to go f6. f6 seems safe. And then I want to go e5. My opponent wants to go king e2. The question is, do I have an immediate win with something like knight b2? I don't think so. I want to play bishop f8 and take this pawn also. Bishop f8 may just be winning. Bishop f8, e6 is the threat. Yeah, I'm just gonna go bishop f8. I don't see why not. Don't I just play e6 and pick up the pawn? On knight e5, I think I just take it. Oh, actually on knight e5 I have b2. Yeah. Knight e5, b2, rook b1, knight d2. So my opponent has to play rook e1. Yeah, okay, this is winning. It's over. I'm gonna win 4 in a row. Come on. Okay. I mean, I wanted to play e6 anyway, so why wouldn't I play e6? I just want to win this pawn. Okay, takes, knight takes, bishop takes, yeah. This is it. Oh, be careful. Bishop c3, there may be... Oh, no, I have b4. Bishop c3, rook b1, b2, bishop c3, rook c1, b4, yeah. Too many pawns. Way too many pawns. Do I play b2? Yeah, I should play b2. Why not? Two pawns up. Bishop pair. This is over. And I don't think my opponent can defend the pawn. I just go rook e8. Also on rook c1 I had rook e8 check. Yeah, I don't think there's a way out of this. Oh, it's gonna be 4 in a row. Okay, do I just take? Take? Yeah, I'm just gonna take. Why not? I love 3 pawns. 3 pawns up. On 93 I have rook e8. That's another pawn. But maybe there is a rook b2. Oh, can I just win with rook c1 now? Rook c1 takes, bishop takes, yep. Okay, let's concentrate. Let's find a good win. Rook c1 seems winning. Because I'm gonna end up, what, 3 pawns up? And with the bishop pair? Yeah, okay, no, rook c1 is winning enough. Yeah, 3 pawns up and the bishop pair, it's resignable. I'm not going into opposite colored bishops. I'm not taking that knight. No way in the world. I'm also not going to blunder my bishop, so... Not that the opposite colored bishop endgame isn't winning, but this is just more winning. I have to watch out that I don't trap my own bishop. Where can this knight go if I chase it away? So let's say bishop here. I like that idea. If king c1 now, I can go bishop f3, split up the pawns, and or bishop g4 is even better. And yeah, of course, if the knight moves, then I can just do this, advance, and on king c1, wait, can I go? Yes, I can. Okay, b3, king c1, bishop c2 is a winning endgame, I feel. So b3, king c1, bishop c2, bishop c2, bc2, king c2, king f6. Yeah, okay, that's a winning endgame. Oh, that I did not see. I should still be winning, but it's not as simple anymore. So b2, knight takes. Okay, yeah, it's fine, it's fine. Yeah, it's perfectly fine. This is actually even better because I don't have to worry about his king ever coming out. He's just playing a king down. Okay, it's time to gain some space and create some passed pawns. So my opponent wants to go knight c6. I am aware of that. So let's go h5. Knight c6, bishop f6. And then my plan is to fix the pawn with h4 and play bishop here. Maybe I celebrated too early. I mean, it's still winning, but I don't want to... Oh, how is this endgame? Takes, bishop takes. No, I don't want to have to think about this. I'm not gonna take that. I'm just playing bishop f6. If I keep both bishops on the board, then it's immediately over. And if I go into opposite colored bishops, even though with two passed pawns I should be winning, there's always a way to mess that up. Which squares does the knight have? The knight has these two, these three. So it's time to improve my king. Let's improve the king. As long as I don't blunder a piece, it's over. Okay. No, he cannot take. This pawn cannot be taken. King g5, knight b2, bishop b2, king b2, bishop d5 is busted, I feel. Also, if I go h4, then it's even worse. So no, yeah, the pawn cannot be taken. This is a losing endgame. Yeah, this is... I'm just gonna queen now. I don't even care about my g-pawn. Okay, good. My opponent fought on, but we did win 4 in a row. Come on. Yes. I'm so happy. Yes. Okay, when I won the first game in this series and then lost 2 games after that, I was devastated. So 4 in a row. Come on. Come on. Thank you guys for watching. Okay, let's analyze briefly. Sorry, I'm looking for a more effective way to learn openings. Try out Chessbook. It's a great tool for studying openings. It's very easy to use. It focuses on moves that people actually play. It explains the plans in certain positions, and it's going to highlight the mistakes you made in your games. So once you connect your lichess and chess.com accounts, it's going to focus on the mistakes you actually make. So you're going to be able to work on what matters most. You can import your repertoire either by hand or by, importing a PGN. So that's easy. Let's say save my progress. And you can then practice those moves. So if you go to, let's say, your black repertoire, you can see that mine is 89% complete. You can press import and you can use any of the PGNs I've prepared. You can find a bunch of them in the link description, in the description below. So import the repertoire and then you can start practicing it. So for example, if we go d4, d5, you can also have a bunch of pre-made repertoires from this position, and some of them are mine. I have created a Queen's Gambit declined opening repertoire for black, so you can start with that. I have created an e4, e5 full repertoire for black, and I have created the London system repertoire for white, and you can access them through Chessbook easily. So once again, once you connect your lichess and chess.com accounts, you're going to be able to correct your opening mistakes. So for example, in this case, I play h6 in the tile, and let's see what mistake I'd made. So in this position, you played e6, play the correct move on the board. Wait, what's the move? I think I should go bishop e4. No? And here, this is a good example. I don't know. I don't know. Show me the answer. Queen e6 check. Yes. Okay. Damn. So you see what I'm talking about. I made the mistake in the game, and then once again, when I was reviewing it on Chessbook, I didn't know what to do. You can also practice all the moves in your repertoire, which is obviously one of the most useful things you can do. You can play through model games in your openings. You're going to get served games daily, and you can view performance by opening, which will be there once you complete your repertoire. Check out Chessbook by following the link in the description below. It's only $8 a month, even less if you pay yearly, and I hope you like it. Let's analyze briefly. Sorry, I'm too excited. Where are we? Yeah, h3, I don't know h3. Let's turn off the variation arrows. So let's see. Wow, I'm worse after g6? Okay. And then my opponent, okay, so we're playing like idiots, apparently. And then dc4 isn't good. And then dc4 is good, which I thought wasn't good. c5 was good. a5 is really bad. Okay, knight takes is correct. Queen takes. Okay, knight c6. Queen b6 is good. Oh, f6, e5 immediately. That makes sense. Yeah, you see, he should have played rook c1 for queen b1. a4, nice. Knight a5, nice. Okay, rook c3 is correct. Oof, and this is immediately losing? Okay, what's better, knight c4 or knight b3? Knight b3 1.3. I was afraid of knight d2 at some point, so rook d1, knight d2. Knight c1. That I did not even consider. Okay, but knight c4 is seemingly even better. Knight b2? Oh. Wait, what if bishop b1? Then I take. Wait, what's wrong with b3? Sorry, what's wrong with ab? No, there's nothing wrong, it's fine. Okay, I didn't play accurately, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah. Rook c1 is not the best move, but it's okay. I wonder, I mean, this has to be winning. But I just didn't want to go into an opposite colored bishop endgame. Let's see about this one. This one I wouldn't be so confident about. Okay, still winning. I figured it was winning, but I didn't want to risk it. Yeah, the pawn cannot be taken. It's just clear that I'm queening. Okay, I mean, I didn't play very precisely, but I think I played precisely enough. So that's I'm on a winning streak. Okay, stay tuned for more chess. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.